In this video I will show you how to properly export textures from Substance Painter to Unreal Engine. So after your texturing is finished, just simply click File, Export Textures. Normally you choose output template as something like PBR Metallic Roughness or Blender or Arnold, for example, for Maya. You can do that by this way, but there is a much better option that I will show you later. So choose the output directory, output template, for example PBR Metallic Roughness. You know you're already working with Substance, so, and then export. In Unreal you have your object. Make a folder for your textures from Substance. Import them. Now you open your material. And before connecting textures to the shader, just check a color spaces of the textures by double clicking on them. I think you know the rules about color spaces on textures, you just to know how it's done in Unreal, so I think you know that the base color, it needs to be in sRGB. Maps like roughness, metalness is just a black and white mask, so it needs to be in linear color. So I think you know that, you just to know how it's done in Unreal. So click on base color texture, down here is sRGB checked, so it's correct. Now high maps, turn sRGB off, as well metallic. Normal map is already turned off, and roughness. If you find it tedious, you can select all the textures, then right click, asset actions, and select edit selection in property matrix. It's something like parameter spreadsheets in Maya, so you can turn sRGB color space on and off here in multiple textures at once. If you don't have a UDIMs, you can see there is only one UDIM tile. Uncheck the virtual texture. I don't know why it was checked. Save it. Now you can connect the textures to the shader. What about my normal maps? Because there is only normal pin in shader. We need to combine the normal map and the height map together, so to do that, type blend angle corrected normals. We can combine two normal maps, so we need to convert the height map to the normal map. Hit tab again, type normal from height map, and if you try to connect the pin, the output pin to the input pin, you can't. So right click on the height map texture and then convert to texture object. Now you can connect result to the second pin, the normal map to the first pin, and the output from this node to the input normal. And last step, also check sample type in the texture. So for base color with the sRGB color space, sample type needs to be color, and for masks like metallic roughness, sample type needs to be linear color. And within the normal texture, it needs to be normal. Now you can save it, and that's it. But as I said, there is a much better options to do that. In Substance, in export settings, you can choose Unreal Engine 4 Packed. If you export the textures with this template, you will have only 3 texture files: base color, normal, and metallic roughness and ambient occlusion only in one map. So import them into Unreal Engine, again check the color spaces, base color, sRGB, normal utility, linear color, and occlusion, roughness, metallic, also linear color. And then again turn the virtual texture off, because we don't have UDIMs. Save it. Now connect the base color, normal map into normal. And now what to do with this weird texture. Look how it names, occlusion roughness metallic. So R is ambient occlusion, green channel is roughness, and blue channel is metallic. Plug the blue channel to the metallic, green channel to the roughness, and you can plug ambient occlusion to the ambient occlusion. Again check the sample type, base color to the color, metallic roughness ambient occlusion, so just black and white maps to linear color, and normal to the normal. Now you can see it works perfectly. As I mentioned earlier, if you have textures with multiple UDIMs, export the textures the usual way with the output template to Unreal Engine 4 packed. Go to Edit, Project Settings, then type to Virtual, and make sure you have checked Enable Virtual Texture Support. Only difference is you need to check Virtual Texture to On. And then in Shader, check the sample type, not color but virtual color. In Normal Map, Virtual Normal, and in Metallic Roughness Ambient Occlusion Map, Virtual Linear Color. What about my glass shader? If you have a glass shader in Substance, in Export Settings, go to Output Templates, choose the Unreal Engine 4 packed. Now create another channel by clicking on RGB, choose the translucency, drag it to the RGB box, then choose gray channel and name it exactly like these channels. Copy, paste, and change normal to translucency. Now you can export it. But be careful! If you have a glass material, you need to be as individual independent shader, because Unreal can't combine multiple shaders into one, like Blender or Maya. You are welcome!